Blackburn
Enterprises.
Thank you for coming to our channel. You could have been anywhere else, but you're here with me. Back with a new Chop It Up video, and today we're going to be chopping it up about
raising women to be men. Raising up women to be men.
Yes, raising women to be men. This comes from a sermon that T.D. Jakes taught recently. He taught it, I guess, or it was about a week ago. Okay, well, he did about a week ago, and yeah, so it's caused a little,
A little disturbance.
a little commentary. So
yeah,
we thought that we would do some commentary on it as well.
Yeah.
So I guess what we do is we go ahead and look at this real quick. And again, this is a snippet, so this ain't the whole sermon. So we go ahead and put that out there. It's just a snippet on there. So this is based on the snippet of what him saying that we're quote unquote raising up women to be men. So we're gonna go ahead and check that out real quick, and then we'll give our commentary. Let's go ahead and check this out.
If Adam had not allowed Eve to pour into him, sin would have never come into the world. Sin came into the world because Adam broke the order. We were not designed to receive from women. Your self-esteem is compromised when you have to ask your wife for lunch money. I'm not saying you got to be rich. I'm not saying you got to be famous. I'm saying that you have got to be the one who pours in, not the one who takes out. When Adam started eating out of his wife's hand, sin came in because the divine order was broken. This breaks all sociological orders of the culture we're living in now. Because we are raising up women to be men. And you are not applauded for your femininity. You are applauded in the contemporary society by how tough, rough, nasty, mean, aggressive, hateful, possessive you are, and you are climbing the corporate ladder, but we are losing our families. I know you can buy your own car. I know you can buy your own house. But until you create a need that I can pour into, I have no place in your life. So stop coming home bragging to me about how much you don't need me and wonder why I shy away. Oh, y'all ain't gonna talk back to me this morning. The conversation has become, let's prove to the men how dispensable they are. And it is born out of pain because we hurt you and betrayed you and lied to you and cheated to you. And you became like you became out of pain. Oh, Lord, I told you they wasn't going to like this, Jesus.
Okay. So let's get into it.
So I heard a lot of problematic language used.
Okay, go ahead.
First, the beginning of the sermon, or this snippet of the sermon, he was speaking about how Adam messed the order up because he took from Eve. But at that point, they hadn't even eaten the apple, so they didn't even have senses, or what did we get when the apple was eaten, and then we got
the apple. I don't know if we call it the apple. I think it's a fruit.
Well, the fruit. When he ate the fruit, it gave us continuity, right? We didn't have that beforehand to even know what an order was.
I just to be honest, I don't know. I have no idea.
That's what it did, though. That made them know that they were naked, and that's why they started hiding after they ate the forbidden fruit. They didn't have that wisdom before.
Okay.
So that's one.
Okay, so what are you saying there? Because I'm confused.
I'm saying that how would he mess up an order that he didn't even know was supposed to be an order?
Okay. Continue.
So that
I'm a little confused by what you were saying there, but go ahead.
The other thing is he's talking about we're raising women to be men, and that that was evolution. Because of evolution, like okay, let me get my words together.
Yeah, get them together because you're confusing me right now.
The whole taking from your wife or taking from it's supposed to be an even exchange partnership situation anyway. It's not supposed to be like, oh, you just help me, you just pour into me and nothing else. And just because I can buy my own car and my own house doesn't mean I don't need you. Okay. I don't understand what the equivalent of that is. Okay,
so I think what he's trying to say is so the idea is that based on that scripture that Eve, the only reason that Eve gave the fruit to Adam to eat, right. And at that point he followed her lead. Right. So based on his point that everything got screwed up at that point because he followed her lead when he shouldn't have.
Right.
My disagreement is, it comes in because and he started making the analogy of, women being, successful and working in these jobs and climbing the corporate ladder and equating that to women being mean and nasty and all that.
And men.
First of all,
it's not masculine.
So first of all, this is my question. Who is we? Because it says we're raising up women to be men. So who is the we? This is what I'm trying to figure out.
Black community.
That's what I'm saying. Is it because if it's we? I got something in my eye and it's really annoying me. But who is the we? Is what I'm trying to gather. Is it a black community or what have you? Because as far as I'm concerned, who is excited about women, quote unquote, and let's keep it all the way 100. We're speaking on black women being quote unquote nasty and judgmental and all these negative, words that he used. I'm not sure where is that being encouraged, because black men don't like it. If you look up and down timelines, anytime a woman is displaying anything that's remotely close to those type of qualities, black men are going in. So black men don't like it. If you ask the average black woman, when she displays a lot of those traits or whatever, she doesn't like it. So who is we?
Who is encouraging?
You know what I'm saying? And then so that's number one. Who the heck is we? Number two, we're raising women to be men. How are we quote unquote doing it? How are we raising women?
He said there's something about our femininity is not praised.
Right.
But then when
and that's
we
a
try
lot,
to be
and I'm
feminine
sorry,
and sensual,
right.
Then we get called H's and B's and S's.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's another thing.
So
that's another thing. You're saying.
Now my boobs are all out. I'm flaunting myself, but I'm celebrating my femininity. So I don't understand.
Here's the thing. So here's the thing. First off, a guy as a man, who are you to define what femininity is? That's another thing. For one, two. What are you talking about? What do you mean we don't honor women for being feminine? According to who? According to what? Women. Again, if you ask men, one of the things that I guess how men look at as a quote unquote feminine trait, or what's as generally looked to be a feminine trait, is to be docile or to listen or to come under subjection. That is something that's generally associated with feminine traits. What men ain't lining up for that?
Right. And then I will say sometimes women will say, he's not the head of my household, or we're both the head of the household, or whatever. And so that's like, I guess, where the order gets jumbled. But it looks different in today's society anyway, because women are staying at home, being housewives and raising babies. We have to work to maintain a middle class status the majority of the time.
That's another thing, and the reason that's another line that I didn't agree with. He said, if you aren't quote unquote preparing or making a need for me. Again, what are we talking about here? I be damned if I'm gonna tell my daughter that, hey, when you out there and you trying to date or whatever, make sure that you make sure you create a need for a guy so he can feel needed.
What?
No, you don't. You do what you need to do. You be on your boss stuff. And if he's on his boss stuff, then you're going to respect him from meeting you where you already are.
Yes.
That's what a lot of women talk about. They're not going to lower their standards just so a dude, you know what I'm saying, can feel comfortable. Like, no. See, what you do is, you got it all backwards. And again, I know this was a snippet, but based on this snippet, you got it backwards. If I'm looking at a woman, I'm gonna see where she what is needed, and I'm gonna fill those needs. She's not gonna have to take a step back and have to create a need. I figure out what is needed, and then I supply those needs. That's how that works. That's how leadership works. When you're a leader and you're over a group, if you're on a football team, basketball team, if you're on work or whatever, you look at the team and you figure out what's good, what this person does, what this person does, what this person does. Okay, cool. This person is good at that. Let me put them in charge of this. This person is good. Let me make sure they do this. This person is terrible at that. They don't need to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Right. That's what leadership is. Leadership isn't, oh, let me make sure let me make sure my team is trash so they can make sure that they need me as a manager or as a quarterback or as a husband or as a boyfriend. That's not how that works. And another thing, this whole idea that women want to be by themselves and want to do things by themselves. Are y'all actually talking to women? That's the question. And I know this because I've always had female friends from a very, very young age. So I'm trying to figure out, where y'all getting this idea that women actually want to be by themselves.
Right.
Like this whole idea that, oh, they don't want men. There's this thing where they acting like they don't want men. Where? Well, how about this? Why don't you go ask the women in your lives and see how that goes? Now, I'm not gonna pretend like there's not some women out there that probably are like, you know what I'm saying, I don't need no woman, I don't need no man to do this, I don't need to do that. But another thing we have to be honest about is that whole idea is based on disappointment. Why am I gonna sit here and wait on a man to do this or wait on a man to do that? If they haven't been done it, I'm gonna do it myself. This is why a lot of women don't ask for help when it comes to things. Because when they try to get help, we as men have dropped the ball if we're keeping it 100.
And he did say that a little. He did touch on that about cheating on women and
he did.
He did say that.
He did. I agree. He did.
He did say where the blame should be put.
But that ain't necessarily a blame.
Yeah, but why we are the way we are.
Yeah, you have to look. You have to look at a situation, but the false narrative that women are just saying, screw man, we ain't got to deal with men, or we don't want men, is a lie from the pit of hell. Women want men sexually, they want them financially, they want them physically, they want them mentally, they want them socially. Women want men they want them spiritually, they want them from all those things. So to sit there and again to continue to push forward this narrative that, oh, women don't quote unquote men, that's a fallacy. It's an absolute fallacy. And for a lot of men to continue feeding into it, that's straight trash. Like stop it. Stop it. Like the whole idea that women are raising children by themselves because they want to is trash. That is a trash idea. Now, if we're being honest, there are some women who have created environments where it is hard to work with them when it comes to co-parenting. I definitely got to keep it 100 there. However, if you ask the average woman about them doing stuff by themselves, especially when it comes to raising children, they want help. They are begging for help.
Yeah.
Help me is what they're saying. So again, quit with the fallacy. Quit with the, oh, women don't need this and women don't need that. And then y'all want to change the subject. Oh, the problem is women don't ever want to admit when they're wrong. What does this have to do with anything? Sir, if we want to have a conversation about women and them being willing to actually admit to their shortcomings and how they can do better, then we can have that conversation. And I will agree with you there. Women y'all do have a problem when it comes to admitting to y'all shortcomings and when y'all wrong or whatever. I totally agree with that. But that ain't what we talking about. The conversation here is about us, quote unquote, raising up women to be men based on women being successful. Like what is that? Because a woman wants to climb the corporate ladder, because a woman has goals, because she wants to get to the bag and do what she needs to do, that is, quote unquote, raising them to be men? No, that's raising them to, quote unquote, take care of themselves. Yes. Because if the 50s or 60s or 70s taught us anything, if we sit there and lay back and just let the man do anything, men is gonna do whatever they want to do. And then when they want to chuck the deuces, woman is sitting there stuck on the couch. And then if you're a real man, as far as and of course everybody has a definition of what they deem to be a real man. But why on earth would I want a woman to be in my life and not do anything? To sit on the couch and eat bonbons? Is that what we want? What year is this? Is that the idea of femininity? Stop it. Just because you work and you putting that work in and you get into the bag, how is that the antithesis? How is that the antithesis of femininity? That math ain't mathing, as far as I'm concerned. Like, stop it. So my thing is, if we want to bridge the gap between what guys and men are thinking and what women are thinking, we first have to talk to each other. Don't sit there and say, oh yeah, women, they just want to do this and women just want to do that and this, third, they ain't Bro, the first thing you can do is reaching out to a woman and ask them, okay, so how you feel about this? What do you think about this? How can things be better? But you know what? A lot of men don't want to do that. Y'all just want to talk and talk and talk and run your trap. And don't want to listen. Like and that's on both ends sometimes. A lot of times both ends, people just want to talk. You have to, you know what I'm saying? God gave us one mouth and 2 ears for a reason. And we ain't using those 2 ears. A lot of us are just running our mouths. So this idea, when I'm trying to figure out who the heck is we and what exactly are these ideas of femininity and all these fallacies. And this is what really pissed me off actually when I heard it, because again, this is a snippet. But based on this snippet, if I'm zoning out during the sermon and then I just tuned in from this part, this is what I got from it. You are a leader and people listen to your voice. Many people follow your voice as quote unquote gospel. And for you to say the things that you did as far as femininity is, like, I don't comprehend it. Like, I don't comprehend how you have young women in your lives and this is how you want to raise them. This is the message that you want them to follow. To not climb the corporate ladder and to equate climbing the corporate ladder to quote unquote being ugly or to being nasty or to having an attitude. Like, that's the same thing. Like, those things are equal. That's trash. That's absolute trash. And I don't agree with it. I don't, as a male. And if you disagree with what I'm saying, please stay on topic. Because people love to get off topic and talk about everything else that don't got nothing to do with what we're talking about. Again, the topic here, what we're talking about is quote unquote, we're raising women to be men. And the comments that he stated. And if we're actually going to move anywhere, if we're actually going to move forward, we actually have to listen to each other and actually listen to a woman's perspective about how they feel, about if they really quote unquote don't want a man. Because based on all the females that I got in my life and that I've talked to, anytime the subject comes up, they definitely want a man. The question is, they want the right man. And just because they don't want your ugly ass don't mean they don't want a man. You got anything you want to add? No. You sure? You Johnny Tight Lips over there.
I was listening to you. Said a lot.
I mean, I did say
a mouthful.
I mean, I did. I mean, you know, I did. Because I mean, it just really bothered me that someone that has this platform and this knowledge and has started studying the Word of God, and somehow you got this message to send out. This is 2022, bro. It ain't the 60s. It ain't the 70s. Women are out there taking care of themselves. And when the right guy comes along, then they will relinquish control. But until then, they're gonna keep doing what they're doing, regardless they're a millionaire, billionaire, or whatever. I'm here millionaires, actors and actresses stating the same thing. They want men to come in there and help.
They want to help mates.
Right. So quit with the false narrative. You sure you ain't got nothing else?
No, that's good.
Okay. All right. So if you want to do us a favor, hit that thumbs up button. We definitely appreciate it, and it helps out the channel. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, bruh, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. We definitely appreciate it. And you can see more videos like this one. And if you would go ahead and do us another favor, you want to go ahead and hit that button that's shaped like a bell. You go ahead and do that. You get a notification.
Every time we drop a new video.
Every time we drop a new video. And if you want to go ahead and do us one more favor, if you want to go ahead and comment down below. I know we touched on a couple of different things, but in the same vein. But, you know, what should they comment? How
are you raising your daughters?
Good question. Good question. How are you raising your daughters?
Are you raising them to be men?
Are you raising them to... Are you raising them to be men? Or
are you
what exactly?
Raising them to be independent women?
Are you raising them to be
strong black women?
And what do you think? What do you think about this snippet from TD Jakes? What do you think? Comment below and let us know. All right, we appreciate every single one of you. And I guess we'll holler at you. Peace.